Hey, what's up guys, it's TechZoomer talking to you here. And finally, this is my last video of the week of the M2 MacBook Air. This computer has been in my workflow for the last week, and this is not my full review because I think I will need another week to give you my full review and full thoughts on this computer because I need to test a little bit more of the battery life and the sustained performance. But for more I can tell you from this first week, I think this computer is very good. And yes, I've been getting a lot of comments on my latest videos asking me, should I get more RAM, should I get more SSDs? And I think in this video I can answer all of those questions because after 1 week, I think I've made my mind in almost all the things of this computer, so I can help you out on your decision of buying the M2 MacBook Air. Let me tell you that if you are new to my channel and new to my videos, let me tell you that this computer is the M2 MacBook Air base model. I have 3 more videos on this computer, a comparison against my M1 Max MacBook Pro 16-inch, an unboxing video if you are interested in that, and of course, 2 days later review. So I do think this is a very cool computer. It's been made and tailored perfectly for the market that is aiming, which is the normal consumer. And so in today's video, I will help you out choosing the M2 MacBook Air's upgrades and tell you what has been my experience for the last week, editing videos, editing photos, and what should you do? Should you upgrade? Should you buy the base model? I will try to help you on that. So if you are enjoying this type of content on the M2 MacBook Air, which is all the content that I've been made lately because there's nothing else interesting to talk about, then do not forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, turn on the notification bell, leave a comment down below so you can help out with the algorithm. So no further ado, let's get started. As you know, the M2 MacBook Air came with the M2 chip. Yes, the M2 chip firstly came with the M2 MacBook Pro. The M2 MacBook Pro was kind of a disappointing, and after 1 week, everyone else has probably made their mind on that computer. Yes, it was a very good computer. The M2 MacBook Pro on a vacuum was an incredible machine. But with the presence of the M2 MacBook Air, and of course the MacBook Pros, the M2 MacBook Pro was not a very good deal when compared to the M2 MacBook Air, mainly the M2 MacBook Air. And now that I've bought the base model with the main chip, with the 156GB of storage and 8GB of RAM, I've discovered some things, and I've discovered also all the things that make this computer, in my opinion, a better deal than the M2 MacBook Pro. And let me explain. The M2 MacBook Pro starts at $1299, but it comes with the non-binned CPU. This one comes with the binned CPU. So instead of having 10 GPU cores, it has only 8. So, I mean, it's 8 CPU cores, 8 GPU cores. I don't see much of a difference. It's like 5% of a difference. And for $100, does it justify to upgrade for the non-binned version? It depends. Because I think that if you don't really care about performance, but you do really care about SSD storage and RAM, then you're better off saving those $100 on the binned version of the chip and putting those towards the RAM or the SSD upgrade. So what should you first upgrade on the M2 MacBook Air? And in the last week, I've noticed that is not enough, and that's the SSD. 2 things that will change when you upgrade the SSD. After you upgrade from the 256 model that I have here to the 512, which will cost you $200, you will notice that the SSD speeds will be much faster, almost double as this one, and mainly because I don't think that's a problem, this SSD is being slow in this computer because it has very low storage, but the low storage part is the one that concerns me, because after 4 to 5 years you will start to get that annoying pop-up on the screen saying out of storage, out of storage, out of storage, if you do light stuff. If you don't do light stuff and you like editing videos, saving photos on your computer, then only after like half a year you will get that pop-up, and that pop-up is annoying, very annoying, trust me. I've gotten those constantly while editing videos here. So I do think you should be careful when buying storage on a computer, an internal storage, should I say, because this computer, you cannot upgrade the storage afterwards. So you have to be very careful what, when, and what are you buying when you buy this computer, because this computer is expensive, I know, but putting $200 more on top of it, I think it will give you 4 to 5 years more of use on this computer, and it will save you a lot of head pains, because this computer with 512 gigabytes of storage solves so many issues that people are pointing up to him, like being slow, thermally throttling, not being as good as the performance, like half of the performance when exporting videos, then I think that yes, the main upgrade for you should be the SSDs and not the RAM. Then afterwards, if you feel like you need a little bit more RAM, you do more RAM intensive stuff, then go for the 16 gigabytes or even the 24, but I don't advise you going upwards than 16, because at that point you are reaching MacBook Pro territory, and when you are reaching MacBook Pro territory, you can get an M1 Pro MacBook Pro 14-inch for $19.99, which gives you 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 of the fastest storage, mini LED display, promotion capabilities, an amazing 3-port array which has Thunderbolt 4, MagSafe, high impedance headphone jack, HDMI, SD card slot, gives you a ton more stuff, especially the display when compared to the base model M2 MacBook Air, that I think that it's a good deal if you want to upgrade your M2 MacBook Air to go for the M1 Pro MacBook Pro 14-inch. But if you do only want to spend like $1,500, there's a chance you can do it here on this computer, so you have to weigh out things. First, I advise you to upgrade the SSD to 512, and that's it. I don't think that you should upgrade even further. If you want a little bit more power and you are concerned for the bin CPU, then go for the non-bint one, which is $100, so 200 plus 100, that's a $300 jump, which will get you a 1500. So you have to make those choices. Going back to the M2 MacBook Pro, that computer starts at $12.99 and gives you 8 gigabytes of RAM, the same slow storage, and it has the same performance issues with the slow storage as this one because of swap memory, and of course gives you a non-binned version. So it's about the same price if you price these out, the base model. So if you give the non-bin version, the M2 MacBook Air, then it will be the same price as the M2 MacBook Pro. And then when you're at that price, you have to understand that this computer has a better design, a newer design. It has a better display, less bezels. It has a bigger display. It's smaller, thinner, more portable. It has a complete function row, so it doesn't have a touch bar. As you can see here, it has a complete function row. And of course, the main thing, it has MagSafe. So it leaves out the 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports free when you are charging, which it has better I/O because the M2 MacBook Pro only has those 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports. So it loses on the I/O side. The only thing that it wins is having a fan. So if you like having a fan, which will give you a bit more performance under loads, then I mean, go for it. But in that case, I think you should save up and go for the 14-inch MacBook Pro. If you want performance, don't really take time and waste your time with these base model computers because they will not be focused on performance. They were not made focusing on performance. Although the Apple Silicon chips on the M2 side are like stupidly powerful for their needs. So I see where you can go for the base model or even the base models side of the Apple Silicon lineup of computers. But if you are a real pro, then I think you should spend the extra cash and go for the M1 Max MacBook Pro or even the M1 Pro MacBook Pro. Of course, going back to the M2 MacBook Air, this computer has been great for light stuff, watching web, streaming videos, I mean, writing scripts, editing photos, editing videos in 4K on Final Cut, also can do it very fine. And of course, even 4K editing is easy here. The M2 chip has proven to be immensely powerful for this stuff. Playing some games, not all of them, because the M2 is capable of better playing games because it has a 35% jump over the M1. But either way, they're not powerful computers to do that, but this machine is quite capable of doing that. In this M2 MacBook Air new design, you can see that we have the mini light blue. This, on the last few weeks, or at least last few weeks, has gotten tons of smudges and oils. It's hard to demonstrate to you, but if you can see with the light, this is very dirty, and I don't advise you going for this color. It's cool at first, but then you start to notice something. You start to notice that this computer is not as pristine and beautiful as it is on the first day, and you will get tired of the color. This color is cool if you like matte black or matte blue. I would advise you going for the silver. I think that's the better looking one. I think I like it a lot, or even the Starlight, whatever they call it now. So yeah, the M2 MacBook Air in the last week has been a very cool computer. Let me go back for the specs if you don't know the specs of this computer. It has a 13-inch display. It has 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, 1 MagSafe, 1 high impedance headphone jack. It has no speakers grill now that has the old MacBook Air. Those are hidden here behind the display. It has a keyboard, the Magic Keyboard, and an amazing trackpad. Of course, the display has no bezels and it has a notch with a 1080p webcam camera, the same one present on the MacBook Pros, the 14 and 16 inch. This is the microphone and camera test for the M2 MacBook Air. This is a 1080p camera and I think it looks amazing for a webcam on a computer. The same probably as the M1 Max MacBook Pro, or a little bit better. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. So after 1 week, I totally recommend you going for the M2 MacBook Air. It's an amazing computer, very complete, and it will serve your needs, which is streaming videos, again, editing light 4K footage, and simply browsing the web, Twitter. This will serve your needs just fine. Actually, it's more powerful than the M1 on shorty and very small tasks. Like, even compared to the M1 Max there, this computer is faster. It has a 1900 point on Geekbench 5 single core, that one has a 1700. It's a small jump, but a jump either way. So on a very single core and bursty tasks, this computer will be faster. I like it a lot, browse the web, streaming videos. It's very portable, very light, and very easy to carry around to do your work everywhere you want to. So this has been the M2 MacBook Air experience from the last week. Amazing, incredible. I totally recommend this computer for anyone that's looking for a new Mac. And if you are looking for the new Mac for doing Excel, Office, or even other easy work and easy tasks, university things, then this computer is for you. It's not as expensive as the MacBook Pro's 14 and 16 inch, and it still gives you that amazing design. And on a very small, clean package with tons of performance hidden in it. So if you are enjoying my M2 content, this was my last video before my full review of this computer coming next week. So if you are excited for that, do not forget to drop a like down below, subscribe to my channel, and of course while you're there, don't forget to leave a comment down below saying what is your opinion on the M2 MacBook Air. Are you enjoying the reviews? Are you enjoying this computer? And have you got one? Let me know in the comments down below. This has been Tech Summer talking to you here. Bye.